So did anybody see this video by Steve Ballmer? I saw it as a commercial on YouTube. He made it on March 17th of the 2025, and he gets his information from usafacts.org. It's all about the taxes from the year 2022. Well, he gave us this data, like the number of tax filers, what tax bracket you're in, how much money you made annually, and your effective tax rate, not your average tax rate, your effective tax rate. I had to do all this math, 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 and in conclusion, the top 1% or 0.73% are paying 35% of taxes. And if you add these two categories, this is about 2%. The top 2% are paying 45% of taxes. And this extra 1%, the third 1%, this is the top 3%. They're paying 51% of taxes. The top 3% are paying 51% of taxes. So when they say, pay your fair share, I'm like, well, maybe they are, because look, the bottom three tax brackets, 0% tax bracket, 10%, 12%, we're only paying 0% in taxes, 0.29%, 7.22%. We're paying 7.5% of taxes. So this whole thing, pay your fair share, well, it kind of seems like they are paying their fair share. 3% are paying 51%. But let's look at how much money they're making. They're making, this adds up to 30, let's see, it's 25, 29, 30, 30.3%. So the top 3% are making 30% of the money, and they're paying 51% of taxes. So you're like, well, maybe their taxes should be a little higher, because they're in the 37% tax bracket, 35 and 32, and they're effectively paying 27, 22, and 19. What kind of deductions do they have? Trump gave us the best deductions of all time. We're only paying 0%, 1%, and 5%. And that includes up to $54,000. That's like middle class, college graduate maybe, 60 grand a year. This is $12.50 an hour, 25,000 a year. This is this like your Walmart. This is $4,600. This is like what, part-time or high school and college kids? They're not paying any tax. In fact, these taxes that the rich are paying, they go to the poor as something called EIC, Earned Income Credit. They actually get money from the IRS. Can you imagine? That's pretty wild. But you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe they should be paying more, a lot more than 27%. Maybe this number ought to be higher. Well, what was Obama's number? This is Trump's number. What was Obama's number? It was 39.5%. And it's been that way for 45 years, because Clinton and Biden and all the Democrat-run Congress has been like 60% of the last 45 years. The Democrat-run Congress has had a chance to put this back up to 70, because Reagan dropped it from 70 down to 50, then down to like something down around here, like 35. 45 years, lady. You've had 45 years. And I think it should be way higher. I think the Democrats have a point. Because this $2.2 million, this isn't what the Republicans say. This is job creation money. No, it's not. This is Lamborghini money. This is your adjusted gross income. This is Lamborghini. You want a job? Yeah, you can get a job making private jets. What's the number one business in Kansas? It was making private jets. I get aviation news, 5 or 6 articles a day. And since COVID shut down, it's been nothing but, oh, private jet business is through the roof. If you're selling a used private jet, you're getting top dollar. Because everybody wants one and they can't manufacture them fast enough. So a company called Spike Aerospace has seen the writing on the wall. They've seen all the money, they've seen the rich, they've seen the demand. Now they're making a supersonic private jet, holds a lot of people. Everybody's going to want one. You can see your salary dropping $10,000 a year, getting a pay cut, because your boss is going to want one. So while I'm being forced to work weekends for free in a freezing cold computer lab to do the rollout, Mr. Rich business owner, CEO, has taken his mistress on a supersonic jet to Milan for pizza over the weekend, and you know he's getting laid out the wazoo, cheating on his wife with a 25-year-old hottie, while I'm like, gotta ride my scooter to work because they cut my salary $10,000. So what happened with the COVID shutdown is that these top 1% got much, much richer. Before COVID, this was only 14%. The top 1%, not 0.73, the top 1% were only making 14% of salaries. But because you shut down the small hardware stores where you're making this kind of money, and you kept the big box stores open like Lowe's and Home Depot, you shut down doctors' offices, which an OBGYN, deaths from pregnancy went up. These people making that much money were out of business. But these guys, big pharma, big hospital, big health insurance, they stayed open. And so on and so forth. All of us middle class and upper middle class, we all lost our jobs. But all these guys making their millions, they all stayed open. So yeah, the COVID shutdown was bad. And Jesse Waters at Fox News said that was going to happen, and it did. And I'm like, it's probably top 1%. It's probably a good 20% of salaries. It was 14%. Come on, people. But the Democrats are onto something, even though Bernie Sanders is lying like, oh, the top 1% make as much money as the bottom 99. It's like, no, they don't. This is 2.6 trillion. This is 0.9 trillion. That's 0.6 trillion. There's 2.6 trillion. There's 3.8 trillion. There's 2.9 trillion. And this is your Walmart at $12.50 an hour making 0.6 trillion. And this is your high school and college students making 0.152 trillion. So, yeah, Bernie is completely lying. But on the other hand, the top 3% of wage earners right here are making 30% of the salary and only paying 51% of taxes. But on the other hand, Obama only had this at 39.5%. Reagan had it at 50% for like 4 years, his first administration. It was 70% under Carter and everyone before, or maybe it was just Carter. I think it should go back up to 70%, to be honest, because their effective tax rate's only 27%, 22%, and 19%. Remember when the Democrats said, oh, the rich are paying less tax as a percentage than, like, the poor? And I'm like a housekeeper. And I'm like, who would make up such a heinous lie? They get you mad. They get you assaulting people. They get you fighting in the streets. They get you burning stuff down. What kind of a sick MFer would make up a heinous lie to make you demonize half the country? They're crazy. And this 2.2 trillion, I said, that's, like I said, that's Lamborghini money. That's private jet money. That's not job creation money. Corporate tax should be 0% because that's job creation money. You want a job that pays better than $12.50 an hour? Well, maybe that earned income credit should apply to these people too. Maybe if we tax these guys at much more than 37, maybe like 50%, maybe 70%, maybe we could make a living wage, you know. And then look at these guys. These are the guys that like got a 1 or 2 extra years of college. See, I went to school 17 years. These guys went like 19. I'm making 60 grand. They're making 4 times as much money as I am. Almost 4. And why? Oh, they got a PhD. There's a couple more years of college. Well, thanks to Trump and the insanely huge tax deduction, the effective tax rate on the poor and middle class is like 0%, 1%, 5%. But on these guys, it's only 11 or 16%. They're making 3.8 trillion, 2.5 trillion. They're making 27 and 17%. They're making a huge amount of money, 54%, 55% of the money. I made a mistake. I guess those extra 2 years of college, I should have gone. 27 and 17 is 34. No, 44. About 45% is what they're making and paying 41% of taxes. They're only paying 41% of taxes. I think their tax rate should be up because the business owners, the ones who spend trillions of dollars on quantum computing, they think these guys are worth so much more money because they did one extra year of school. Well, you know what quantum computing is? That's the revenge of the engineer and programmer, because they're paying us S wages, S asterisk, asterisk, asterisk wages for 17 years of college for learning computer stuff and physics and calculus that they'll never learn. These guys making all this money, well, let's charge them $1 trillion to work on their quantum computing, which is the bit could be a 1 or a 0. That's a crash in a computer, in case you've never taken computer engineering. When the bit's a 1 or a 0 or both, that's a computer crash. But we still convinced these rich guys who think they're all that with their Lamborghinis to pay us trillions of dollars to do quantum computing. There's a sucker born. There's 1.1 million suckers born every minute and 53 million to take them. Anyway, yeah. Tax the rich. Democrats are liars. Bernie Sanders is a liar. But they don't pay their fair share. And this isn't job creation money. That's Lamborghini money. So, here, take a screen grab of this. There you go. So hit like and subscribe. Don't forget, vote for Multipleaser for president and I'll tax the rich 50%. See this 2.2 trillion? That's going to be taxed 50% and your maximum salary is going to be 1 million. Because everything after that is going to be taxed 100%. Vote for Multipleaser for president. And you know, for me, it's personal. It's not a slogan. I'm not going to be getting rich and pretending like we're going to tax the rich for 45 years, just lying to you. I'm going to veto every bill coming out of Congress because they don't have the 60% vote to override my veto. And I'm going to veto every bill until they put taxes back on the rich where I want them 100%. Hit like and subscribe.